Hey guys, and welcome back to another Miniature Adventures video. So today we're delving back into the Alien universe. I am excited for this. So this set is going to be the Mine set, which is an expansion for the Mine's Big Room that we did do, I believe, a couple of weeks ago. But before we do that, please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really does help us grow as a channel. So, enough of the publicity, let's take a look at this. So the Alien Mines is basically, we've had corridors on spaceships and space stations, we've had facilities on the ground. This is under the ground. This is, as I would imagine, Weyland-Yutani digging for resources. Maybe they dug a bit too deep, maybe they dug where they shouldn't have done. A few xenomorphs have popped up. So these sets are absolutely beautiful. Now, they are slightly different, which we'll get into that, slightly different design, but each is modular and is about the same size, I believe, as all the other tiles. So, you want to hear all that? You want to actually see them, I know. So let's take a look. So this is one of the corner sections, and one thing I really love about this is the fact that we have this gap here, which gives a sense of depth. And really kind of makes me feel like these bulkheads are holding back the rock face, which in this case it's a xenomorph kind of hive tiles. So I feel like the Weyland-Yutani or Prodigy have kind of dug into the rock and accidentally found xenomorph tiles, and they're exploring. Or we could kind of do it as it's a research, and that they found an old nest, an abandoned nest, and they are trying to you know, mine it for xenomorph resources. Or the other option is that it's a mine that's been abandoned and the xenomorphs have taken over. So we've got the standard kind of xenomorph floor, which we've seen before, and the corners as we saw on the big room. But I feel like all the extra details of the mining equipment really kind of make this pop and make it seem like a mine, especially as we go back there. Now, one of the additional rooms we've got is the safe room. Now, this has two doors. I'm going to take that out. It has a beautiful roof. So it's a fire safe room. So basically, if there was a fire in the mine, basically the miners could go in here, seal the door up and be safe, which I think is beautiful, because you could kind of do it as, you know, maybe the miners are taking refuge in here because they found xenomorphs. Really does kind of do that. And then the door is beautiful. This reminds me of the Predator door, which I like. And then the roof, so we could even add a bit of mystery to this room, which I like. It's a great addition. You don't have to use it, but I really feel like the mines would have a room like this. Or maybe, just like what happened in Alien 3, they with a different kind of room, but they managed to trap the alien in there. Then we have the kind of standard elevator, which I really like. This is slightly smaller for a mine, rather than the big ones you would use in the facilities, which again has the beautiful kind of mine backdrop, which I like. It comes with a dead end, which again I love. The eggs, the containers, I love the fact it has an egg storage, so it's almost like it definitely has been an abandoned, and we've got a kind of dead miner on the floor, so it really gives that vibe of this has been abandoned and left to, you know, basically left for the xenomorphs to take back over. We then have another kind of straight. Again, we've got all sorts of different ones, except this one has some fans, so obviously in tunnels and that you would need ventilation, kind of keep the air going. So I really love the fact that it's including fans, and you know, it just adds a bit of realism to the tile. We then have this three-way, which is great, and it's had like a bit of a cave in there. And then obviously on the corners we also have more of that kind of xenomorph hide tiles, which is great and fantastic. I like that. bit more of the kind of corridors which I like, and a different kind of corridor with some collapses. Here we've got more collapses. Get my little xenomorph thread out of the way, which I like. But the thing I really have to say I like about this is, let's set this all back up and I'm going to show you something. I don't know if people have kind of got this thought, but I have. So I'm going to stick that back there. I'm going to stick that there. Okay. How did we have this? So I'm going to have that there. That there. That there. And we're going to stick thread back there. So, I'm going to move back a little bit, just to kind of give it a grandiose. Put this here. We got a mine. We got an elevator. We can use it with, and let me pause so I can bring it over, something like this. Maybe this is a research facility. Way up on the surface, we've got an entrance here to the mines, maybe the elevator down. Research labs here. This could all reach off, and basically you connect this elevator over there to kind of give you that sense of multiple levels. We're going to go to the shaky cam so we can kind of get a bit of a grandiose view of this. So this is level 1. This is the mines underground, and we've got maybe a small mining facility. This could come off with some crew quarters and things. We can move it over, and then here we have the mines, which I really love that idea of connecting the two together and doing it so that we can connect this level to this, and maybe this has some vents, and you could even connect the vents then down to this. The vents could, in theory, connect to the vents we have here. Maybe the power's off and the xenomorphs can get through the vent there and pop up, maybe connecting to this. And then, like I say, we have this facility here. If you're curious, these are Popsicle's Alien Romulus miniatures. I really love this, and I just thought it kind of give it a good research vibe. But yeah, so that is the Alien Mines, and it is absolutely fantastic. Now I hope that they're going to add entrances here, so you could, you know, just have a plain entrance coming in, and maybe you've got different levels of the mines and you can use the elevators, or maybe some big entrances for machinery, some extra pieces. So this set has a lot of potential, and there are a lot of parts of the movies and the novels, especially like Alien Romulus and some of the novels, that take place in mines. Maybe they've found you know, a buried Yautja somewhere that's, you know, got killed in a cave-in, and your players have found that. Maybe it's an underground Tyranid base that has been taken over. It's Imperial, and the Tyranids have taken over. So it's not just linked to the Xenomorphs. Could be using in Tyranids. So this has the scope to really expand your games, and especially when we use it with this, and even this, the outer walls kind of setup would be great. And then we've got this level. So that's it, guys. Really, please check out this stuff. Now, all of this is available on the LV427 site for SSTL. Oh, shaky cam. We at Miniature Adventures, we do print this, so just drop us an email. The email will be in the comments if you want it. We do this size, and then we do 28mm accurate, I guess you could call it. I use this for 28mm, but some people prefer it more for 32, and then we do a 28mm. So just drop us an email if you're interested, or any of the kind of alien terrain. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and we will see you next time.